Before every mission, this man would turn on his camera and record his own hunts. In his eyes, every pull of the trigger was a masterpiece worth preserving. But this time, after the gunshot rang out, another target seized the brief opening and launched a counterattack. A bullet tore through his arm, instantly staining his sleeve red with blood. Yet the intense pain did not make him retreat. Instead, it made him even more focused. Only after the target completely lost the ability to fight back did he slowly lower his gun and remove the suffocating camouflage hat. But no one could have imagined that this man, who didn't even make a sound after having his arm pierced by a bullet, had been nothing more than an ordinary Ukrainian physics teacher just 3 months earlier. Even more shocking was that this story was adapted from a real event. Every morning, he would ride his bicycle to school, but on this particular day, he suddenly encountered 2 heavily armed soldiers on the road. A strong sense of unease immediately rose in his heart. When he hurried to school, the entire office was already empty. On the television, news about Russian forces crossing the border was playing on repeat. Realizing something was wrong, he immediately rode back to his cabin on the outskirts. But when he saw what was happening from a distance, he completely broke down. 2 soldiers were assaulting his wife outside the house. He threw down his bicycle and charged forward without hesitation, only to be easily subdued. The soldiers then used searching for spies as an excuse to storm into the cabin and search everywhere, but they found nothing. To cover up their crimes, they simply set the entire cabin on fire and prepared to leave. Before departing, one of them viciously kicked the man lying on the ground, but they had no idea that this single kick completely shattered the last belief of a pacifist. His badly injured wife used the final bit of her strength to grab a stone from the ground and lunge at the attacker, only to fall dead before the barrel of a gun. The home he had built with his own hands was reduced to ashes, and his pregnant wife died before his eyes. At that moment, the warmth in the man's eyes disappeared completely, replaced only by a burning rage for revenge. Not long after, Ukrainian soldiers who had followed the sound of gunfire arrived at the scene. They quietly buried his wife's body, and the man's only request was for them to give him a gun. Just then, he noticed a soldier responsible for maintaining weapons stepping away to a corner. He quietly walked over and grabbed the rifle. From that moment on, his life changed forever. Seeing the determination in the man's eyes, the new recruit instructor responsible for training eventually agreed to let him join the unit. However, on his very first day of training, reality gave him a brutal lesson. Whether it was physical fitness, marksmanship, or weapon assembly and disassembly, he was the worst performer in the entire